Welcome back to the Stuff About Money podcast. I'm your host, Missy Garcia, here with my co-host, Grace Angel. How are you doing today, Grace?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Well, I hear our topic today is Mother's Day. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I think Mother's Day is a little bit silly.
Why do you think it's silly?
Well, I think it's silly because why are we only celebrating our moms once a year, 365 days, when there's 365 days?
366 on a leap
Well, yeah,
on a leap year.
yeah. We should be celebrating our mothers every day and being nice to them all the time instead of just one day a year.
I like that interpretation of it. But we have two guests to come talk about it with us. One of our guests, my close friend, Xavier Angel, we actually talk like every morning on the way to school in my dad's car.
Yeah. And my very close friend, Erik Garcia, we talk a lot too every day in my dad's car too. So
We actually talked to them together.
yeah.
Please welcome my dad, certified financial planner Erik Garcia, and
And Angel, certified financial planner to our show.
Well, thank you guys for the introduction.
It's great to be here on your show, ladies. I'm looking forward to
So,
talk about our topic today.
so for clarification on how we talk to each other, so we're in a car, we carpool to get at different times.
Is it oh, it's not carpooling if you drive your own kid.
I know. Sitting on this side when we're having the girls host the show threw me off a little bit. So as I'm bringing Grace to school and Erik is bringing Marissa to school, we have that opportunity every morning. We probably speak, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
probably about most of the time on my way to school, which is about that time.
Yeah.
But doesn't it help to get the day going?
It does.
Well, fussing at you does. It makes me happy.
Fussing at them.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what I have to correct him.
Yes, you do.
so what do y'all have us here today talking about, ladies?
So we're going to be talking about Mother's Day. So like your thoughts on Mother's Day, and then also what I really wanted to mention is what Grace said earlier, how she
Yeah.
thinks that Mother's Day is silly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You should be nice to your mom like all the time. Like the one day you should like it's nice to give her flowers and stuff, but like why not like all the time, and be nice to her and celebrate her for all the great things she does.
So you guys would want to celebrate your mother's 365 days and a leap year
366.
366. So that's what you guys would like to do?
Yes.
I think you should celebrate really everyone every day of the year.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you then. And this will help us to celebrate them every day of the year. So what is one thing about your mothers that you guys love the most about them?
Well, I love about my mom that she's really funny and she makes me super happy. And I like spending time with her, like especially when we're shopping because we both love to shop. And I just like roaming around stores, like most time not getting, well, we get a lot of the stuff that we look for, but it's just super fun to like hang out.
So quality time is what you would say you enjoy most about your
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah.
What about you, Marissa?
Really a lot of the same, but like she always helps me with stuff when I ask for help. And then basically almost the same as Grace's, like quality time, and she's always kind to me. But there's one difference. She doesn't love shopping. I'm the one that likes shopping. She takes me anyway.
And that's a quality and a trait of a great mother. They do things to make you happy, correct?
Yes.
I'm actually Missy's shopping partner.
Yes, he does go shopping with me. He's the one that likes shopping. My mom just takes me.
I think that's an important part that Xavier just mentioned. I think, what do we think about mothers? I think the easy answer is to go to all the stuff that moms do for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if we stop and reflect on it a little bit longer, we'll realize that it's less about the stuff that they do and more about how they make us feel.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Xavier talked about sacrifice. And anytime someone sacrifices themselves for you is makes you feel really good. And moms are maybe some of the most self-sacrificial people that I've ever met.
Today, actually, she sacrificed 5 of her Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets for me.
When
It's a good
that's
mom.
that's a great mom. So, Marissa, what do you think makes, what does being a mother mean to you?
Well, obviously, I'm not a mother.
Right.
But stop making that face at me. But really, if I was, I feel like, always being kind and just like loving your kids.
Okay.
Yes.
Grace.
I think like of like being a mom is like always being there, like
And like guiding them.
to like support your kid or whatever, and like doing that.
So even when you guys don't agree with how they're guiding you, you still think that's important, correct?
Yes.
Say it one more time.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember, we've got this recorded, so next time you guys are arguing with your mothers, we're going to play this back for them.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
So,
Doesn't always mean I like it.
Xavier, in reference to that question, and I'd love Grace and Missy to get your reaction to this. Okay.
Oh.
I think there's listen in, lean in. I think there's 3 things as people, as children. Like that's the thing that we all have in common. The 4 of us, we're all children. We were all birthed by a mother, right? And I think as people, there's 3 things that we really, really we want, we pursue. One is security, right? We want to feel safe, right? The second thing is hope. We want to feel hopeful. We want to know that tomorrow things are going to be better.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is significance. We want to be important. And when I think about these 3 things as kind of humans that we pursue at some level, security, hope, and significance, all 3 of those things, our moms have done for us and do for us throughout our lives. Right? Our moms always make us feel safe and secure. They always give us hope. It's always going to be better. Right? How many times has your mom said, it's going to get better, it's going to be okay? We're going to get through this.
A lot.
Lots.
Yeah.
Right? And then significance. Grace, you talked about this, about, man, your mom makes you feel important. She makes you feel significant. My mom, to this day, makes me feel significant. The whole world could be against me, and I think my mom would still make me feel significant. So what are your thoughts on this idea of security, hope, and significance?
Well, I think go ahead, Marissa.
You go ahead. You're first.
No, I want to hear from Marissa. I hear from Xavier all the time.
Yeah, I want to hear from you as well.
Okay. Well, I think that that's like, I don't know if I should call it an idea because I'm not really sure if like you made it up or anything. But I think that's a really good like thought because it is really true. And mothers do all those things for us.
And unconditionally, they do it. No matter what's going on in the world, at that particular time, they could have had a miserable time that particular day, and they're still going to make you guys feel significant and secure, correct?
Yeah.
What do you think about what Erik said, Grace?
Well, I agree with all of you guys. I think they're doing it because they're doing what they do because they love you. And it's just you have to like appreciate it.
So it feels like a security blanket, your mother, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of also jumping back into your question. What does being a mother mean to you, or what does a mother mean to you? I want to ask both of y'all that question. So
Ooh,
what are y'all's thoughts on that question? Because we shared our thoughts, but y'all didn't share yours.
Maybe they might be taking over hosts of the show,
I
man.
see.
Like the whole podcast.
I mean, I'm the host. I'm asking the questions here.
Go
I
ahead,
asked the
Erik.
questions here.
So what do we think about what our moms mean to us?
Yes, that is what I asked.
For me, I think being a mother is the backbone of the family. All right. Um, it's I know that it's my safety blanket, my security. Knowing that I have a strong, intelligent, caring individual that's home, that's the glue to our family. Um, the individual that helps us from going astray. I mean, at the end of the day, I look at where I was 17, 18 years ago versus where I am today. And I think I'm a better person, um, physically, spiritually, from a professional standpoint. She's made me a better person all around.
What about you?
Yes, that's a big question. First, I want to say this. I think that there's roles that people play, even though they may or may not be a mother. And I want to kind of capture that and highlight that here really quick. That I know many women who don't have children of their own that play mothering roles in the life of my children, that they played in my life, and I want to call that out. But to go back on what I said earlier, like just my personal experience with my mother is I know that my mom is, and Xavier, you know this, you've met my mom, and Missy, you know my mom well. Like there is nothing that she would not do for me. I think she'd break the law for me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I
But
think it's
again,
good in some sense and bad in another, like breaking the
Yeah.
law.
I
But
was
it's good in some sense, that she would do it for you.
hyperbole. But I think
You opened yourself up for that one.
No, it's okay. But I think when you know that you are loved that much by somebody, that's important. I mean, that carries you through a lot of things in life. Um, and that to me, that's probably of all the things that my mom has done for me, of all the cookies that she's baked when I've come home from school, all that kind of stuff. The thing that rises to the top is knowing that my mom unconditionally accepts me and loves me, even when I may not be lovable.
I get the question often, um, when I introduce myself, or when they find out my last name is Angel. And one of the first questions that people ask are you really an angel? And my response has always been, if you ask my mother, I am an angel. Because to her, I will always be her angel. I'm always that perfect child, no matter what I do. It does not change.
Always in your corner,
Mhm.
even when we're not an angel, right? Even when we're,
Yeah.
I get that question a lot too.
are you an angel, Grace?
I think,
What would your mom say, Grace?
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
most of the time.
Awesome. What do moms have to do with money? Like this show's about money, and we're talking about moms. I don't, I'm confused.
They buy us a lot of stuff.
Ah,
Like groceries, like
mhm.
just stuff in general.
Yeah. No, what were you gonna say,
Well, a
Missy?
mom is worth a lot. In
Ah,
fact, you,
me?
my dad, yeah, you. Sorry, no, you can't see who I'm pointing to in Zoom. Um, but you wrote a blog about how much a mother is worth, or your wife.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the title was I Can't Afford My Wife. And I think when people read that title, they're like, oh man, did your wife buy a lot of shoes? Did she buy a lot of Louis Vuitton purses and Gucci stuff? No, what the point of the article was, this was back um when Jen was at home, hadn't gone back to teaching yet. And there was an article on salary.com, and what it did was it broke down all the different roles that a mother plays, with kids, like nurse, counselor, psychologist, personal driver, well, Uber driver, I guess, personal chef, CEO, chauffeur, and it put a dollar sign on all those things. And so I calculated the amount of money if I had to hire somebody. It was like $147,000.
It's a lot of money.
Say that again. So as a mother,
Yeah.
Jen would earn a salary of 146,000 and some change.
100, yeah, somewhere in there, yeah.
And that was when she was at our house every day.
And now she's doing this for 100 plus kids every day at school. They can't pay that woman enough.
But let's talk about that, right? So she was making this when she was at home every single day.
No, she wasn't making it.
Oh, well, that would have been her salary.
Couldn't afford to pay her.
Right.
Hypothetically, that would have been hers. Yes.
I'm glad she didn't quit.
So that would have been her salary if you were paying her prior to her going back to work and teaching. And now teaching, she still has to come home and she's still doing those same things because she hasn't given up any of those roles. She still takes on those roles. So I think she needs a pay raise.
Certainly can't afford her.
Let's just do this real quick. If there's, let's say, 150 kids that she's doing most everything for, maybe minus like 1,000 or something for like driving. What was the full number again?
147. Are you gonna do some math?
About to. So if you subtract like 1,146 times like 150, how many kids she does? Continue talking while I do this math.
You better get it right because your mom's a math teacher. I think here's the point of that article is that sometimes we undervalue the roles that moms play. Our society, I think our society does for sure. And I think Xavier, as you said, we have a lot of two households with two working parents. And those roles are still being done. No, there's roles are shared. I know Xavier, you do a lot in the house, and I do a lot in the house, but those things that only a mother can do. Mothers love in ways that just dads just can't do it. It's different.
Well, mothers are nurturers by nature. And I think that, oftentimes, Grace and I will butt heads and we'll argue, and I'll immediately go to Maureen. And because Maureen, at the end of the day, she's the one that can come and she's that soothing person between us. She's the one that brings us back into reality. So, even being a professional mother, they still have two jobs. They have their job where they're at work, and they have their job when they come home after 5 o'clock, because it doesn't stop. It continues. Then it continues through the weekend as well.
I can see Missy in her face. She did some math for us. What's that number, Missy?
21,900,000.
Okay, guys, in the show notes, I want you to go to my GoFundMe link so I can raise money to pay my wife. Well,
A lot of money. It's 21 million.
21 million.
21,900,000.
Money they didn't teach you in school. No one taught you that your mother is worth $21 million. She's your mother, Missy, so you have to pay her.
So
I don't
Grace-
have that much money.
I
Grace,
don't have that
Missy?
much money.
Not a lot of people have $21 million.
So here's a question for both of you guys.
Especially people who don't
I'll
work.
pay her in hugs and smiles.
Okay, well, then I was gonna say, now, you don't have a job, so you guys aren't making that type of money. So what are some of the things that you guys could do to let them see how much you appreciate them?
How about, let me ask that a little bit differently. Let's say you're hired as consultants to teach kids on how to
Appreciate.
show appreciation to their mothers. What would you tell them?
Well, if you can't like buy things, you can make them things to show your appreciation. Like, because it still shows that you appreciate them. Like if your like mom likes, I don't know, cards. I don't know. But you can make her like a card that just says some like nice words in it and like it'll make her happy.
Like you can always write down your appreciation.
Mhm.
You can always
Yeah.
be kind to her, really in any way. Like me use an example when my friends at my church actually used. They made their mom breakfast in bed for no specific reason. One random day.
Yeah.
You could do stuff like that. You could just be nice to them, really. You could behave. You could pay them in hugs and smiles.
Absolutely.
I think here's the reality of just people in general. People feel love in different ways, right?
Mhm.
So one mom might like flowers. One mom might like you to do your chores when you're asked to do them.
And I think as children get older, and this is something I want the two of you to remember. You know, as you get older, and mothers just want to spend time with their children. You know, never stop showing how much you care and appreciate what your mother does.
Yeah, that's good, Xavier. That's good. Any closing thoughts, ladies, before we wrap this show up here?
I do have a quick question.
Mhm.
So, all of y'all, and I'll answer at the end. What's your favorite quality about your mother?
Cool.
I guess I'll start then.
Okay.
So this is gonna be twofold. Since we're talking mothers, I'm gonna start by saying my favorite quality about my mother. And that quality about her is the security that I get from her, knowing that no matter what I do, what I say, she will always forgive me and continue to love me unconditionally. And she'll go to the end of the world and back for me.
Sometimes moms put conditions on their love.
There are conditions, but I think at the end of the day, it always comes back. So
It's as close to as pure love as you can get in this world.
right. And then with Maureen, the quality that I have for her is she will always put her children first. All three of them come before anyone or anything else, other than God. But the children are always first, and she will bend over backwards to make sure they're happy, they're safe, and they're secure.
Yeah, that's good. So for me, same thing, similar with my mom. Number one of my favorite qualities is her ability to cook black beans off the chains. It's delicious. No, but just loyalty to me as a child, unconditional loyalty. For Jen, Xavier, it's almost identical. Like Jen is fiercely loyal to her kids, and she will sometimes sometimes it seems like it's I hesitate. Sometimes it seems like to a fault, but so self-sacrificial for her children. I think that's sometimes where us as husbands have to step up and make sure that you know moms take care of them, or that we have to show up and step up and love our wives because knowing how sacrificial they are for their daughters. So I love how fiercely loyal she is.
Hey,
I
girl.
I agree with both of you guys how putting kids first is a really good quality for a mother. And my favorite quality about my mom is, well, I kind of said this at the beginning, quality time. I like having quality time with her, but I like how we just like I feel like we have a lot in common for most things. So I think that's one of my favorite qualities about my mother. But yeah.
Um, my favorite quality about my mom is she's always kind to me and she always loves me, no matter what. No matter what I do, she always loves me. And
Yeah.
she makes sure to tell me that. Whenever I do something wrong, she says, I still love you. She makes sure to tell me that.
Yeah.
She still loves me no matter what I do.
I love that. He's great. He's great. Well, ladies, goodness gracious,
I enjoyed being on your show
I
today.
know. I'm sitting here thinking like y'all might have. We talked about y'all have a job, but maybe you have a job now to be able to afford to pay your mom.
I don't know if I can pay that much.
It'd have to be a high pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
A
Well,
sticky note.
podcast hosts. We're like rich.
Well, look,
Ooh.
in closing, if I remember a conversation the four of us had a week and a half ago, you guys wanted to come and work for us, answering phones, and a salary of $100 an hour is what they wanted us to
No,
pay
I'm
them.
pretty sure it was $500 a second.
Oh, yeah, it was
yeah,
that.
Ladies, thank you for having us on your podcast. We really appreciate it. We're always available to come back.
You're trying to get away from the $500 a second salary.
How about college and dinner?
It's a pleasure, ladies. Thank you for having us.
We
Thank you for
had a
joining.
great time with you guys too.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Just in closing, what would y'all like to tell your mother?
Love you, Mom. You're the best. Love your black beans and be empanizado. The best.
Love for every woman out there who's raising children.
Respect.